Hey, hey, ladies.
I don't know what happened. I was in the goddess.
Brain is gone. We got there.
Oh, how are you?
Yeah, all right.
Half left.
Yeah, you know the feeling. Hey, ladies. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, women.
Hi.
Hiya.
How are you, Chloe?
I'm good. I've got my whiteboard.
Yay.
I saw it the other day and I was like, I have no idea where I'm putting it. It's currently on top of my fridge, but it means I can't get into a cupboard, so I'm gonna have to keep moving it. But it's up. It's working.
Yes, amazing.
How are you all?
A whiteboard.
Get one, girls. Honestly, it's my favourite thing to do. I've got my sister one. She loves it. It's just great. Who knew? Simple pleasures.
We know, right?
What is it? I've missed the beginning.
It's only a whiteboard.
Oh, I've got one, didn't I?
Yes.
You see mine? I don't know if you can see it.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's because of you that I got it from.
Yeah.
It might have been the first evening you wrote on the challenge. You wrote on it.
Yeah,
that's
I wrote
that's
all my
brilliant.
values on there. I wrote all my values, and one of my values changed. Yeah, I well, obviously this is the third challenge that I'm doing, and the first two values exercises that we did, my main core value was freedom, and that was the one when Heidi says, she said like Charlie was ready to fight me. Because I was like, how can we have love without freedom? And then it made sense, obviously, once you went through the values exercise. And this time it was happiness, because I just feel like at the moment, with everything going on and the energies and the emotions, like just feeling present and happy in the moment is so important. And it's something that we can all achieve. Do you know what I mean? It's such a small thing. Like happiness is a choice, and it's a value as well. And I was just like, wow. And it was a mad thing for me as well, because I was thinking authenticity, and we feel like changing is being unauthentic, but if anything,
Yeah.
it's staying the same as being unauthentic, because we're forever changing. Our environment's changing, we're growing, we're learning, we're not the same people we was yesterday. So that was a massive shift for me, and I'm glad that it inspired you to get a whiteboard.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'll change it up and put morals and stuff, but at the moment I was just like, I can put them two on. We'll see. But thank you.
That's all right. You look so cozy right now. I'm jealous.
This is my dressing gown and I wear it all the time for work. Like my flat gets cold and I have to explain that I'm on the bus, like phone to my boss, and he keeps saying, I just think it's a jacket. Stop telling me you're in your dressing gown. I'm like, I am dressed. I just wear this all the time.
Oh, hey ladies, how is everyone feeling today? I just want to check in and just make sure everyone's good. You know that it's Pisces season, so it's watery. We're all feeling a bit flowy. Emotions are riding high, so you are not the only one going through it. If you feel like you're in the middle of the Mediterranean Ocean right now with no land in sight, we feel like it too. And if you feel amazing, that's just even better. Like, thank you for supporting us through this Wake Up Wednesday.
I didn't get any sleep last night at all. I was still awake at 5:30 this morning.
Oh.
And I don't even know why. I think I just had a lot going on my mind after all the webinars, and I had a lot of aha moments, a lot of realizations with some of the friendships and relationships that I have. And I just thought, wow, how did I not even realize that? It was right in front of me, and I didn't even realize that person's so negative to me. And it's crazy, really, how blind I've been to it. And yeah, so a lot of realizations and
awareness has grown.
Yes.
Yeah.
One point I'd love to make quickly is just not to be so hard on yourself, because we have all been in this situation, and this is what this program was designed for. It's designed to wake us up, to make us aware to these things, not to make us feel bad, not for you to shame yourself, because we have all been there. We've all been, sometimes even myself, I've been really struggling this week with this challenge, because for me, it's another layer, and it's really made me aware that actually sometimes I was the negative person. And I feel like that's such a big realization as well, but it's just so important. And that's the topic that we're actually going to talk about today, is just being grounded and making sure that we don't allow ourselves to get caught up in the negatives and feeling like we have done something wrong, or that we should have seen something that was right in front of our eyes, because you are a human being. And just don't be so hard on yourself. That's what I just wanted to let you know.
100%. And I just want to, obviously, we always start Wake Up Wednesdays off with massive gratitude. Now, thank you all for being here. Thank you for sharing this time and experience and space with us. We're really blessed to be on this journey with you. But honestly, for those of you that don't know who we are, my name's Charlie Grech. I am 27 years young and I'm based in Essex, and we are a part of a women's empowerment community. Myself and Natalie are one of the founders of PutUFirst, and what we are talking about is our PutUFirst challenge that we are currently in the middle of. So we are currently on day 4 of the challenge. And honestly, I mean, the self-awareness is ever expanding. So just touching on what Natalie said, make sure that you are really loving yourself through this process, because when you learn something about maybe your environment, yourself, or anything for that matter, the only way that you can grow is through compassion and letting go and allowing the new abundance to come in. And a lot of us, what we do is we shame ourselves for not knowing better at that time and not being better when we needed to be better, or really we actually needed to be the version of us that we was to get to where we are, and we need to allow that to flow. So yeah, that's a little bit about what we're doing at the moment. That's the PutUFirst challenge. We'll go into a little bit more depth on that, but I'm just going to hand it over to my co-host, Natalie Maynard, looking very pink and lovely.
Thank you.
I love it.
Oh, I love you ladies. Honestly, like Charlie said, thank you so much for being here. It means so much to us that you're taking the time out to put yourself first on this Wednesday evening. And like I said, I've been feeling it this week, ladies, and it's been a struggle for me to show up. I've been a little bit MIA on the calls. I've been listening in, but I haven't been showing my face because it has been quite a hard-hitting journey this time. And today I just felt like it's really hard for me, because I feel like I know that I'm going through a spiritual awakening, and I know that all of the lessons that I'm learning at the moment are absolutely necessary for me to become the person that I really want to be. But I don't want to say I'm losing people along the way, but I'm sort of realizing that I might not resonate in the same way that I once did. And I feel like that's extremely painful, because I never expected to not, what's the word? You know what I'm trying to say, Charlie, when I say this, like not be on the same frequency, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. And it's like, I just never thought that would happen. So for me, with those realizations and really feeling like I'm not losing part of myself, because I know that it's necessary, but just really feeling all of these shifts so powerful and so deep has been quite a struggle. But I wanted to be honest today, because I feel like it's really important that we share our truth. And many times before, if I was going through a hard time, Charlie will be able to tell you this, that I would isolate myself. I'd just be like, yeah, I'm fine. But I think now it's so important that hopefully by me sharing my truth today is going to inspire you, or hopefully make you feel that if you are going through something similar, that it is absolutely okay, and that this is a lifelong journey. I say this all the time when we're on these calls, but it's not something that through these changes and through this awareness that you're receiving, it's not something that you're going to one day click and everything's going to be all roses. We're still human beings. We're still going to have these emotions, these feelings. And it's important that we remember that we actually can be constantly in control of our reality. And one of those ways is being grounded. So I'm going to pass that back over to you, to my beautiful co-host, Charlie. Carry it on.
Thank you so much for having the courage to share your truth, because I know what you're going through right now. I know a lot of women can resonate with your situation on the event tonight. Many of us have had relationships, family members, friends, romantic, platonic relationships in our life, which we thought that we would have had them people side by side with us along this entire journey. But the more that we grow as individuals, we understand that sometimes our frequencies are not in alignment with each other and we have to go apart to come back together. And sometimes we don't come back together. And I just want to add on for what you just said before we move on with the grounding, because it is kind of like a part of you is dying, because the part of you that you identify with these people, the commonalities that you used to share no longer exist. So it is kind of like you're mourning your old self. But we're taught that this is a bad thing, but it's not. It's allowing us to grow. And I'm just grateful that I get to experience this with you all, because we're not going through it alone and we don't have to isolate ourselves. And I used to do that. Natalie, you've been there for me many times where I'm in a dark hole and she's like, where are you going, Mrs.? Come back to the light. So we just love to share, obviously, our knowledge, our experience, to hopefully show you that, yes, it can be a very challenging journey, finding out who you are and what you want out of your life and really what matters to you inside. It's an internal journey. You have to go through it alone, but you don't have to do it by yourself. Like, we can support one another and we can share tools and ways to do that. We can't do it for you, but we can do it with you by doing it ourselves. And that's what this is all about. This is what this community is about. That is what Put You First was created for. I am putting myself first to put you first, and that is our mission statement. Now, just before we do lead on to the grounding information and knowledge that we have incorporated into our lives, I just wanted to share a little video of the women's empowerment community that we founded, Put You First, because there are many of us. We have our self-care Sunday every Sunday at 2 p.m. However, this Sunday and the following Sunday are at 1 p.m. as the Canadian clocks go forward. Is that right, Nat?
Oh, I've got no idea. That's new information to me.
Okay, yes, so this Sunday and the following Sunday are at 1 p.m. and then it will go back to normal 2 p.m. on the 28th of March. So here we go. Can you see my screen, ladies?
Yes.
This is Put You First.
I put me first to put you first.
I put me first to put you first. So yes, I'm still putting me first to put you first.
So I'm learning that I have to put me first to put you first.
There's nothing better than seeing all these beautiful faces jumping on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Call ourselves Put You First. That is what our community is. That is what our movement is.
Seeing everyone's growth and witnessing their own aha moments. It's like magic happening right in front of your eyes, and that's very special.
You are here today because this community is meant for you. And all you have to do is just say yes.
I'm just actually flabbergasted of how many women are on here.
And when you have that group support and you are not by yourself, things start changing in your life.
That's what we're creating with this community. We're creating a support system, physically, mentally, financially, to be able to live in a vibration of abundance and embrace our most authentic self and share our happiness together.
It's something incredible, and our health is so important, especially at a time like this.
And I'm learning more about myself every day, and learning more about all the women in the community as well, because it is just safe space.
Gift, because this is what it is, ladies. It is a gift that we have got to give to women all over the world, because without this gift I wouldn't be the lady that I am speaking on this call today.
But it's now my time to think about me, and oh God.
Put You First has now not just become this incredible community, but we even have what's called a 7-day challenge that we do together.
Put You First 7-day challenge. Holy Moses.
This challenge made me aware of why I was doing that or why I needed to do it more. And
And it also forces you into small, daily, simple habits that can just start you back on the right track.
So there's so many things in this challenge that you ladies gonna learn that it's amazing, because it's make you be the woman that you always wanted to be.
Joined a lot of self-care challenges and groups and stuff, and they're a lot of fluff. This is not fluff. This is fluff free.
Mentorship that I have received, knowing now about the excuses that I use, the way that I self-sabotage myself, the perception that I had on my own reality and the experiences that I was going through, now knowing that has helped me become the person that I am today. And it's all because I said yes.
There are amazing women that I've met that I laughed with, cried with. Anytime we're on the call, we're just like, I actually want to even cry because it's done so much for me.
Maybe you are someone that's not putting yourself first. You are someone that needs to surround yourself with more women like this. I said yes. I said yes to this opportunity because I believe it has the power to change lives. Because all you have to do, everyone, is just say yes.
Oh, I'm sending you all so much love. This is how we show love, because we can't hug in person. And thank you so much for being here with us. Honestly, I know that a lot of us going through this challenge, obviously it's mine and Natalie's third time, and introspection is definitely not something that is easy to do, to look inside, but it is the most rewarding thing you can ever possibly do, because you're actually figuring out who you are and what you need. And the only way that you can ever help anyone else is by helping yourself first. And that is what we are helping women do all around the world. And I'm just so grateful and blessed to just even be a part of this. Yes, we are the founders of Put You First. However, we benefit from these programs, from this experience as much as you do. Like, you ladies are as much as a part of our journey as we are of yours. And it's just such an incredible experience to be able to go through this with other women. For myself, I grew up in a very negative environment. My mum had me very young at 19, and she was extremely addicted to drugs. So I obviously didn't really have that support system in my life. And it was something that, as I became an adult, I realized that it really, really affected the internal relationship I had with myself, which therefore affected every other relationship in my life. And for a long time, I tried to put everyone else first to fill a void, and thought inside my subconscious that I wasn't good enough. And I know a lot of women feel like that. I've had many calls this week with women who feel like they're not good enough. And they are constantly looking outside of themselves in relationships, in jobs, in friendships for validation, when really we need to look inside. We give ourselves validation. We allow ourselves to feel happy. We allow ourselves to feel loved by the association to these things outside of us. But ultimately, we experience our world inside. And that's something that Put You First is helped me uncover. It's helped me look inside at the dark and the light, and focus on what seeds that I want to plant inside this garden. And I think that's just something that's so beautiful that we can all really lean into. And I think it goes really well with grounding, gardening the weeds inside our subconscious. Last Wake Up Wednesday, Claire informed us that our subconscious is actually 90% of who we are, which blew my mind. Like, I didn't even know that. Our conscious mind is only 10%. So the inner work, the energy that you feel inside you, the emotions, the true you is not your feelings, it's not your thoughts, it's your true soul essence. And I'm blessed to be able to even have a community where we can be ourselves, because me being myself here with you ladies today helps me be myself in my real life every single day. And if I can help you do that, then I'm doing something right. But I'm going to lead it on to my beautiful, beautiful co-host. You are just shining today. I know you might not feel like you are, but you are bringing so much light to me right now. I love you.
I had to put the pink on because otherwise I just don't feel myself. So I'm like, put pink on, Barbie girl in action, here she comes. But no, in all seriousness, I resonate with everything that you just said, Charlie, because I had a very similar background in a bit of a different dynamic. So my mum was very young. She was 18 when she gave birth to me, and she wasn't capable of looking after me. So my nan and granddad took me in. But like Charlie, her mum, I always see my nan as my mum, she was addicted to alcohol. So it was very difficult for me as growing up. She gave me the best life with my grandfather, a much better life than I would have had with my mum. So I'm grateful for that. But it was very difficult. And I grew up as someone, I always say that I'm quite an empath, but I actually, through speaking to my therapist very often, she made me realise that actually some of my empathic traits that I believed I had was actually hypervigilance. And that was me predicting how someone feels, how someone's going to react before it happens, so that I knew how to act in order to please them, to make sure that they're not angry, to make sure that they don't get upset. And that, again, is something that I carried on into my teenage years, into my adult life. I was constantly striving for something outside of me because inside I didn't feel like I was good enough. I felt like something was missing. I didn't understand why I wasn't loved, maybe in the same way that my friends were with their mum, that I didn't have the same relationship. And ladies, comparison is the thief of joy. I'm just going to put that one right there. And that was a hard-hitting lesson that I learned only recently, if I'm honest. But yeah, just to leave that one there, that is definitely, comparison is the thief of joy. Do not do it. But yeah, for me, I've really struggled to look inside, because at the same time I found that was really painful, to even look back at some of the memories that I thought were really happy and realize that actually I was acting a certain way or doing a certain thing because I was thinking about the outcome. I was worried about how everything was going to turn out. I was trying to control my reality without being authentic. And that's what this program's about. That's why we take part in this challenge, even still, and I will continue to do it month after month, because it is something that it's really helped me. It's really, really helped me. And I hope that it will help anyone that's taking part. I mean, I know that it's shifting lives already because I'm hearing the conversations. I'm seeing the transformations happen before our eyes, and the stories that these ladies share in these calls are just incredible. And like Charlie said, you are really a part of our growth, because you don't understand that just by sharing your truth and sharing your honesty and being so real and raw in a safe space really inspires us to do the same. And it instills in us that what we founded, what we created, is really doing the work that we want it to do. So thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for always coming to these calls and sharing your energy, because honestly, we need this just as much as you. And right now, I'm just so grateful. My heart is so full. So thank you, ladies. I really, really appreciate all of your love and support always.
Oh, I love you. Honestly, I feel really emotional. It's okay to cry. Like, we need to validate our emotions and feelings. And I used to be someone who would push everything so deep down and just, nope, everything's fine. And warrior, as I would say, when really being vulnerable is strong. Feeling your emotions, being present in the moment. And the reason why grounding is so important, and I don't think people understand as impactful for women as it is, being grounded into this present moment helps you be your most authentic self to the core in the now. The only thing that exists is this now present moment. And the best thing that you can do for yourself and your existence is to be grounded in this present moment. Because when you are grounded into this physical world, there's many different ways that you can do this. We're going to touch on these. One way that I have been really focusing on this week, and me and Claire had a really great conversation earlier. I've gone through quite a challenging week. Obviously, we've gone through the PutUFirst challenge, but one of my family members has been diagnosed with lung cancer. So many of us have things like this happen within our life, within our friendship groups, but where I'm always a positive person and I'm always there for people, and I'm like, remember, thoughts become things. I wasn't even allowing myself to validate my feelings because I was scared that if I felt sad about it, then I was going to project something negative and that I was going to potentially sway the pendulum of life and death. We make up these stories in our head. We really do, and they are there to keep us safe. However, we have to feel and process our emotions. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel happy. It's okay to feel these emotions, because you are not your emotions. You're not your thoughts. You are your soul. And being present and grounding, what I've done this week, I've really been focusing on roots. And I always said that I'm really not good at visualizing. Like when I meditate, I can't see the roots going into the ground. Okay, regardless, take that out, whatever. Set the intention. Doesn't matter if you can see it like a movie playing in your head, or if you're just setting the intention to ground in this present moment. The power of intention is so powerful. I cannot stress enough, even just by you saying, I am now grounding myself into this present moment. The more and more you do that, the more you will create a connection from yourself to this present moment. And it may take a day, a week, a month, a year, 2 years. Keep doing it. The more you set this intention, the more you focus your energy on creating this intention and grounding yourself into this present moment, the stronger you will feel at your core, and the stronger your roots will be into this earth. I believe that we are all children of this earth. This is our home. This is Mother Gaia. However, if you're religious, spiritual, whatever it is, to me, this earth is my mother first and foremost. And that's something that also helped me heal from my mother wound, because I can go out every single day into the garden, take my shoes off and stand on that grass and say, I love you, Mum. I'm grateful to exist in this present moment. I'm blessed to be here and I'm blessed to be alive. And if we can do that every single day and ground, it allows us to open up our portals to manifest even more abundance. And it's something that I've only realized this recently. I've only understood recently that as much as we can have this amazing mindset, you can be the best visualization coach in the world or whatever it is that you do. But if you do not have strong roots into this present moment, then how do you expect to have a foundation to build a strong house or a strong life? So it all starts with the root, and that is you grounding into, I see Mother Gaia, this earth, whatever it is, God, the universe, as stories, but the message is all the same. It's all within us. Everything we need comes from inside of us. So by you grounding into this present moment, you're grounding into your true self just by setting that intention. And I know, Natalie, you're great at doing things like this as well. You have many different tools that you use for grounding in the present moment. And I'd love to put it over, because you help me with grounding. I'm great with the crown. I'm great with the third eye and throat chakra, but Nat, you're my girl when I need grounding.
It's funny that you say that, because I never really understood the spiritual benefit of grounding, because I've actually come into my spirituality quite recently, really, when I think about it. And it was probably, I think it was January 2019, I dived into The Secret, and that's when my spiritual journey really started. But there was so many techniques that I used for grounding, more so with my anxiety, because I was someone that really suffered with anxiety. I still do. I'm not saying that I'm completely healed, but I've got so many more tools, including some that I'm going to share with you now. But like I said, I didn't realize that what I was doing, especially the whole nature part, I've been doing this for years. And when I look back now, I'm like, that's what I was doing. That's why it makes sense. Like for years, I'd always go over the forest with my dog, and I would walk barefoot over the rugby fields and the grass, or I'd go through the forest, and I'd imagine that I was in a rainforest with all the birds singing and just really connecting in that present moment. Like most of the time, I wouldn't even listen to music, especially in the summer, because it's just alive. Like nature just speaks to me. And that was a way that I really connected into the present moment without realizing that was what I was actually doing. But it's such a beautiful experience. And other ways that I've found, I used to, not with crystals, but I would always use my senses, especially, to ground in the present moment. And that's something that we're actually learning about in the challenge, is how to use our senses to keep us grounded in the present moment. But one of those ways would be having something that I could hold in my hand and make sure that it would be like, it would ground me back into the present moment. It would bring me back to that centered awareness. Because another thing with being grounded is, I believe, is when we lose our center of awareness, and it's when we allow ourselves to get caught up in the past, in the future, in our emotions, in our feelings, in the experiences that's going on. We sort of lose our focus on being centered and being aware in that present moment. And that's something that I can definitely say that I've experienced with anxiety. I would allow one thought to completely spiral out of control, and before I know it, I was in the midst of a panic attack. And Charlie, you say that I keep you grounded. You have helped me through a number of panic attacks in my life, and I'm forever grateful for you. Thank you for that. But I always had a crystal which my nan actually gave me. It was a little tortoise, and I would carry it around with that everywhere. It was a tiger's eye, so it was for protection. And she gave it to me when I was younger, and I always carried it around with me. And just because it was that design, whenever I was feeling like I was losing control of my reality, or things were spinning out of control, the first thing that I would do is grab this crystal, and I would look at all the details. I would see how it felt. I would see what it looked like in different lighting. I would just bring my awareness back to that present moment. And like I said, I didn't realize actually what I was doing until I really tapped into my spirituality and realized that, wow, I'm using the tools, like I believe, like Charlie, that from our Mother Earth, especially with crystals. I'm obsessed. I carry them everywhere. But this is a really good way, ladies, if you haven't got into crystals, or you know nothing about them, even if it's not a crystal, get a rock. And honestly, carry it around with you, and whenever you feel like you're going out of control, hold it. I love this one because it's got the 5 points, and I can really focus on it. I feel the way that it feels between my fingers, and it's just something that really helps me. So that's a tool. I hope that knowledge was beneficial. I mean, Charlie, I know that you've got some ways as well, so I'm going to pass it back over to you.
Oh, do you know what? Make me emotional, because when I was going through a really difficult time, the end of 2019, Natalie actually gave me that tortoise. He said to me, I want you to keep this, and it's going to keep you safe, and then when you feel like you don't need it anymore, you can give that back to me. And I did give it back.
You did.
And I just feel like even the intention, that's the intention. I felt safe, and I knew that whenever I was feeling low, I could hold that, and it could bring me back into the present moment. Not only did I know that I was supported and I had the love from you, but I also had a physical amulet to be able to focus on, rather than focusing on the problem that my mind was trying to attach to at that moment. And something that I do, so I'm a DJ and I love music. Like, music has helped me heal through so many things. Like, you know, when you're in your feelings and you put on the radio, or you've got your shuffle on, and then there'll be one song that will just hit the nail on the head, and you're like, that's exactly how I'm feeling. That's something that I've experienced since I can even remember. And I really like to self-soothe and ground in the present moment through music. Now, such a great way to do that is movement. Move your body. And I know when you are feeling sad and you're probably crying in that bed, and you feel like your world is ending, and it's a really, really difficult time, the last thing you're probably going to want to do is put a song on and start dancing around in your bedroom. But once you do it, it really will allow and alleviate your body, to allow the energy to flow and surrender to these emotions, because the way you feel is so valid. The emotions that you feel are so important to your growth as a human being on this earth. Like, they help you understand right from wrong. They help you understand your environment. They are the navigating tool for what you should and shouldn't do, but we're not taught this. We learn this as we get older, and luckily we're surrounded by so many incredible women who help us understand that now, so we don't have to figure it out all on our own. But music for me is something that definitely helps bring me back into that present moment. It allows me to move my body and work that energy and flow. And sometimes I can be dancing around in my room, crying my eyes out, listening to rock, indie, house music, R&B, whatever it is. Just bring yourself back into this moment and allow yourself to feel it. Because the moment that you allow yourself to feel it, it releases. It's like it will hit that peak and you'll feel, oh my God, I don't know how I can deal with this. And then all of a sudden, the floodgates will open and it will release. And the sooner you allow yourself to feel your emotions, the sooner they will alleviate your stress. Because I was someone who used to bottle everything up, bottle it up, bottle it up, bottle it up. 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder from something that happened to me when I was 4 years old. I was living in this constant state of fear for over 21 years. And it become a character, it become normality to me. I didn't know any different. But luckily now I do. And that's why we feel like it's so important for us to share this information, because we are literally the only people that can save us. Like, everything that you need is within you. And when you feel like you are going through hell and back, there's definitely a lesson in there. And we are taught that these emotions and these challenges that we face throughout our lifetime, that there's something wrong with us. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? There's nothing, my life isn't that bad. But emotions are emotions. Your feelings are valid. Whatever happened to you, no, that wasn't okay. But the way you feel about it is. And the sooner you understand that, and the sooner you understand why you're feeling like that, is the sooner you can move through that fear, through that limitation, and actually lean into who you really are and be able to satisfy your own needs by finding out what isn't satisfying your needs right now. And music, for me, dancing, moving my body, exercise. I was someone who hated exercise. I really didn't like exercise. I know hate is a very, very strong word, but now I've got back into yoga. And it's really about just taking 5 minutes for yourself. Even if you just literally sit down for 5 minutes, you put a stopwatch on and you breathe. You consciously breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Spend 5 minutes breathing. Every time you get a thought, bring it back to your breath. People really struggle with meditation because they think that it's about clearing your mind. It's not. Meditation is not to clear your mind. It's to detach from your thoughts. And the only way you can do that is by breathing and bringing yourself back into the present moment. There's a lovely saying that I've always said since I was about 12 years old is, the best way to stop thinking is to start listening. So if you're listening to music, you can't think about the problems that you're going through. If you're hearing your breath, if you have to sigh to the point of where your breathing is louder than your thoughts, do it. Spend 5 minutes of your day giving yourself that time for you to ground in this present moment. And then you will eventually unfold and detach yourself from these thoughts and feelings, and you will find who you are. And you'll understand that pretty much right now, in this present moment, do we have any problems right here, right now? Is the world ending? Is there a tsunami coming through the door? Is the house on fire? No. Life can be very beautiful if you focus on that. And it's definitely something that takes time. If you've been a catastrophic thinker like I was for a very long time, and you were someone that struggles with depression or anxiety and being in the past and the future and worry and anxiety, this is a normal thing. However, small habits daily. If you can spend 5 minutes of your day consciously breathing, it will change the course of your life. Now, I really want to open it up because we've got some incredible women on this Wake Up Wednesdays who are absolutely fantastic at grounding in this present moment. And I would love to even ask if you could share maybe some grounding techniques that you might do, or maybe a situation that's happened in your life and you found a grounding technique that helped bring you back into the present moment. That would be amazing. Yay, go on, Eilish.
Hello, lovely ladies. I can resonate with both yourself, Charlie, and Nat regarding childhood and relationships. It's all very much in the same sort of circle that we're in. And I feel like becoming aware and going through the Put You First challenge last month and now experiencing it again this month, it's just really making me grow as a person and making me reflect on every relationship that I've had in my life and every barrier that I've had up that's kept me from actually living my full potential. Because I think it's a lot to do with, you are the company you keep sometimes. You surround yourself with people that are forever negative, putting you down, or they can't understand, oh, why are you, how comes you're into holistic healing now? They can't understand it. And I'm like, because this is my sole purpose. I've grounded myself. I know who I am. And I found that I've got a calling. And I feel like I'm now living every day and in gratitude, and just for like the simplest things, like waking up, like in the morning, the first thing I say, I mean, this is religious now, is I'm so grateful to be awake and I'm so grateful to be alive. And I just look at the sun and I'm like, or the sky, and in the morning I'm like, wow, what a beautiful day. And it just changes your whole perspective on your day going forward, because every little hiccup or hurdle that I've had in the past that's kept me angry, and I've been so depressed, there's been moments in my life where I was in that pit hole, I was deep down in that dark hole where I didn't get out of bed for a week, and people, I have grown and had to get myself out of it. And it's only your mindset that will get you there. And it's the power of positivity and the power of thoughts and the repetition of actually just encouraging yourself to do this every day. And it is stepping stones, it's baby steps. We don't just automatically wake up and feel like, wow, I'm such a positive person today, because there will be setbacks, but you still have to just become aware and recognize and think, no, actually, I've got a whole new day to begin tomorrow. Let's start again tomorrow. Because there is times where, I feel the same. But yeah, I'm so happy and I'm so privileged to share the space and experience with these beautiful women. Sorry, that's my phone. And I'm just so grateful that everybody is getting involved, and the challenge is amazing. I just want to encourage others to do the same. Hold space for yourself. And grounding, just a little tip from me. I like to ground by, obviously, Charlie, you said visualizing is very difficult for you, but I do grounding with breath exercise. You can just move your body, move your spine, and just twist. Taking deep breaths, but feel your breath flow through your body, and then the visualizing of being grounded and being connected to Mother Gaia, the center core of the earth, through the crystallizations, through the dirt, through the stones, through everything. You are down, you are grounding, you are guided, you are protected. And this is what you have to do on a daily basis. It's just going to enhance your life, honestly.
Oh, thank you so much. Do you know what? It's everything that you just said, I love that, even down to when you are really visualizing, because when you say it, obviously I am seeing a little bit of something. I'm just not seeing it like you do a movie on the TV. And I feel like society has programmed us that for us to believe something exists, you have to see it right in front of your face, big bold, loud, for it to be real. But through experience of life, we all know that that's not the way. That's not real life. That's not reality. And even down to what we're going through at the moment, I was having a conversation with a woman just before this event today, and she's been going through a lot. And I was speaking about grounding into the core crystal. I see us as like a tree, like grounding into Mother Gaia, putting our roots, anchoring into the core crystal, that raw lava, that pink fire red root, and grounding in, and then also drawing up the unconditional love and being present in this moment and being held and supported, not just holding on for dear life as we have in our relationships with our parents. Pretty much we've held on for dear life, we've needed the love, we've needed the emotional support, we haven't got it, but we keep holding on because that's who we need to get it from, and that's who brought us into this world and this reality. And if I don't get it from them, then how can I get it from anyone else? But the more I'm learning how to let go of that program, the more I'm allowing these divine soul sisters into my life, and the more that you ladies are helping me realize that love is unconditional. And the only way we can ever really allow it into our life is when we believe it for ourselves. And grounding is definitely helping me connect to myself, to this earth, and allow that abundance to flow in. Me and Natalie went for a walk in the forest the other day, and oh my God, it was amazing. When we walked to this oak tree, there was parakeets in the tree singing, and we was just like, this is just beautiful. This is beautiful. And then I actually felt really emotional. And I felt emotional because there's so much beauty around us that we ignore because of the daily trivia that we're consumed with, the news, the gossip, the hearsay, the things that we worry about that might happen but probably won't, that stop us from being present in the now and seeing the abundance of life that really truly exists within and around us. And I just think it's just so powerful that we can have this space to learn this, because I'm learning as much as you, trust me. And I mean, Nat, that experience with you that day, that was powerful. That's something, there's something that I see on the internet the other day. It was a meme, and it said that people used to go on the internet to escape reality. Now people go outside to escape the internet. And
well, that's a hard truth, ain't it?
Yeah.
Literally, that is a hard truth. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I was saying to you earlier, Charlie, I was like, I'm trying to limit my screen time, and it's not so much that I'm absorbed in the internet, but another way for me to ground into the present moment is to detach from my attachment to a screen. Like, and when I look at the amount of screen time that I use, even though half of it may be productive, I still think to myself, I'm staring at a square. I'm staring at a lit up square for 5 hours or 6 or 7, however long a day, when really I could be outside focusing on the beauty of nature and the world that we have around us. And that's another point that I want to follow on from, Charlie, when you said that we do get so distracted by our sort of outer world and the things that we're absorbing. But it's really important that we do take time to notice, because you'll see the signs, ladies. It will be a green parakeet feather when we're walking through the forest that I picked up and I gave to Charlie, and then 30 seconds later there was parakeets singing to us in the oak tree above our head. Like, it's about the butterfly that flies past when you're thinking of someone special or you haven't thought about them in a while. It's finding those beautiful moments in the present, in the now, and really appreciating the beauty that we have around us. And that may be difficult sometimes, but I love what you said, Eilish, just waking up and being grateful to be alive. Like, if that's all you can find to be grateful for today, that's amazing. And make sure you feel that when you wake up in the morning and you say that out loud. Make sure you're setting the intention that you are so happy and grateful that you have woke up another day and you are breathing this life force energy into your lungs, and just live a life that you want to live, ladies. And it doesn't have to be difficult. That's what we're here for. The tools that we teach in this challenge really isn't rocket science, like Heidi says, but it is about those small daily tasks that can really shift your reality and allow you to become the person that you really want to be. So I'm just grateful that you've all been here and shared this space with us. Thank you so much. Yeah, Charlie, anything else that you want to say?
You know what, I just will do my best to not get emotional, but it's been an emotional week. For anyone that may have felt triggered by anything that we've said, by no means is this an easy process. For a long, long time, I wished I didn't wake up. For a long, long time. And I now thank my heart every single day that it kept beating, because there was a time in my life when I begged it to stop. So we have been there, and we are proof, living proof, that if we can get out of that dark space, that anyone can. And just know that no matter how dark it is, you never have to go through it alone. The ego will make your problems sound so much worse than what they are to somebody else. And I promise you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You may need to shift who you are to see that, but then really ask yourself, do I want to be this person anymore? Because it is okay to change, and don't let anyone ever tell you different. And I just want to say I love you all so much, and I'm so blessed and grateful to be on this journey with you all, and I'm so blessed and grateful that you're here with us. Lauren, I can see you're a bit emotional in there. I'm sending you so much love, my goddess. We are holding space for you, whatever you're going through. If you don't feel safe enough to air it out, please reach out to one of us, because whatever you're going through, yeah, it's okay to feel the way you're feeling, and we're here. We've got you. I'm sending you so much love, my soul sister. Oh, but we've got a couple of minutes before our next webinar. If anyone wants to open up, it's all yours.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to say, like, Charlie, I can relate to you so much. I think it was about 2 years ago now, I was so suicidal. I didn't know what to do. I was envisioning how I was going to do it, when I was going to do it, you know, and I slowly got better and better and better. But, you know, I still have my days, but not to the extent of I'm suicidal. But when I mean, I only joined this group, 2 weeks ago, I think, because of Amy, bless her. And I think that first day you said something that made me, I had my first aha moment on that first call. And it was when you said about your self-worth. And I just want to tell everyone news on here what you said. And you just said, if you don't have self-worth, just remember that your heart beats 60,000 times a day for you without asking. And that's not making you have self-worth. And when you said that to me, I was just like blown away. And now, you know, I feel like I have this guilt in me where I'm like, why haven't I made this effort before? Why haven't I done that? Why haven't I done these permission slips and this gratitude? Because I find it hard. And it's only been the first week. And it's just nice and reassuring to know that it's not something that happens overnight. And you need to put in the work. And, you know, so I think, oh, like today I was really busy at work. I was like, I've not done my permission slip. And I'm like kicking myself. And I need to remember that it's okay to not do that, and you need to do it daily. But yeah, I don't know, I'm going off on a tangent. There was a conversation today, but it's just nice and reassuring to know that it's a process, and it's not that you have to wake up and remember to do all these things. Like, it's a journey, and it's an ongoing journey forever. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, ladies, honestly, we're blessed and grateful to have you here with us. Thank you so much for joining our Wake Up Wednesday. Every Wednesday we do this 7 p.m. and if you feel called, share this with as many soul sisters, as many women as you can. At the end of the day, if we can inspire you to put yourself first, that is literally what Put You First has been created for. We are just literally on a journey. None of us have got it figured out, but we're figuring it out together. And I think that's what's just so beautiful. And it's just so vulnerable. It's so real. It's so authentic. And we're forever changing. So don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to let go of what no longer serves you and embrace something new. And the only way that we can grow is through love. Water yourself, love yourself, shine your light on yourself, be that garden, nurture that garden within. And I'm telling you now, the fruits of your labour are going to shine through. We've got this, ladies. We have got this.
Don't forget to be kind to yourself during this process as well, Chloe. That's one thing that I've said at the beginning of this call, and it's something that I really want to reiterate, because I've been there, I've beat myself up, and it's just so important that we show others kindness and empathy, but more importantly that we do it for ourselves as well. So I'm gonna say your catchphrase then, Charlie.
3, 2, 1. Keep going, keep growing, and keep going. We love you, soul sisters, and we'll see you back here next Wednesday.
Thank you. Bye.